Welcome back, everybody, to another episode in the Saga of Sir Spawnsalot on Ark Survival Evolved for PS4. We are successfully gaining a foothold here on Aberration for our Aberration Edition. And let's just go ahead and grab these level ups really quick. What we're going to do today, we're probably going to get a spear and a sickle going, and then we will run and get some explorer notes, get a whole bunch of narcotics going so that we can get some level ups really quick. Probably just grab 2 explorer notes, stack them on top of each other. There's a couple right over there in the portal area that we'll grab. So let's just pump these levels in really quick. Let's see. Yeah, we're doing all right. We'll go ahead and grab a little more movement speed, some stamina, and some health. Let's see what we have opened up here. Well, not really going to need the building just yet. Maybe a couple pieces for some quick blocking traps. But I would like to get a Ravager soon. We're going to probably go into the Glowtail Cave either this episode or next episode and grab a Ravager from there. Let's go ahead and get that sickle so that we can craft that up along with the spear. You know what? I'm going to want an Iguanodon, so we'll grab that too. And Iguanodons are really good, by the way, on this map for thatch. They don't gather the most. They're not the best thatch gatherer that you can have, but they're fast, and they can attack on the move. They gather a decent amount of thatch, and definitely want to go ahead and grab one of those if we can find some high level one at some point. Let's take a look and see how we're set up. We've got some narcotics already there. We've got some good amount of spark powder. We're going to need to go ahead and get probably both of those mortar and pestles going for spoiled meat, so that we can craft as much narcotic as possible. Honestly, once you have narcotic unlocked, you're going to need narcotic throughout the game. It's really one of the best ways to level. You get decent XP for crafting, and if you can stack it with explorer notes like we're going to do today, it really shoots you up in levels quite quickly. And that's going to be our main goal today, is to make sure that we can get some levels going. We're going to go ahead and build a preserving bin as well. So let's see what we need. We'll run out and get it here really quick. Just grab a little bit of stone. Get stuck on our campfires. Alright. So let's just offload that so we're not too heavy. Then we'll run over here and get some thatch and some wood. Man, I just love this map. I'm so excited to show it off to you guys, to have fun on it with you all. This is not a very forgiving map, but especially not to start out on level 1, but it is hands down my favorite map that I've played so far. I've had the pleasure of playing on the island, Valgero, Ragnarok, Scorched Earth, Aberration, and Genesis. I'm not going to Extinction yet because I haven't ascended off of Aberration. I haven't actually done the Rockwell fight yet. So we're going to see how it goes in this series, see what we can do. You know, I don't watch videos so I'm not really 100% sure what to expect. I don't watch videos on stuff that I haven't already done, rather. But I do read some posts, and it seems like our best bet is probably going to be either Megalosauruses, or I have heard some people say that Stegos were already pretty good with the Rockwell fight, and with the buff that they recently received in TLC, that might be the way to go. So we'll take a look. We'll see what's going on. We'll see what we can find for tames for ourselves. But as it stands right now, today we're going to make sure that we have lots of metal going. We've got stone right here. We just dropped it in the box, so we'll get that preserving bin. I'd like to get some gunpowder going as well with some charcoal. We want to get narcotics going. This is really just going to be a leveling episode. It may not be the most fun for everybody, so I apologize if we're looking to see what sort of tames we can grab, but we just really need to pump up some levels. It's a lot different when we're starting level 1 versus traveling to this map after ascending from the island and finishing the Manticore. Let's go ahead and grab some metal and stone here. For those of you that don't know, if you want to get some stone while you're doing the metal and you want to get a little bit more stone, go ahead and use your hatchet for a little bit. Your pickaxe is going to get you a little more metal than stone. Your hatchet's going to get you more stone than metal. We want to get both going right now. And, showing off this splitting of things right now, it was brought up to me last episode that maybe I should explain why I was splitting those meat. So if you notice, when I hit square a bunch on the hide right here, it cut off one piece at a time. Anything that spoils in Ark, even though it shows a spoil timer for the stack, that's only the first item in the stack, and it consistently recycles throughout the stack as more items spoil. Well, if you want to get a whole bunch of spoiled meat at once, when your stack of meat is about to spoil, you do what I just did with that hide, and you just spam your square button on it, on PS4 obviously, to split off one at a time until you've gone through the whole stack, and then all of those will spoil at once. Now, here, once we get some stone and metal going here, we're going to need a lot of stone, which is why we're doing the stone here first. But if you ascended to, or rather traveled to, Aberration from Scorched Earth, and you have the Scorched Earth engrams, I highly recommend bringing a whip over. A whip is definitely the way to go when transporting stuff from one spot to another that you can't carry. As it stands right now, we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to be throwing all of our piles as far as we can get them. Then we're going to have to run back and pick up more and throw them again, etc., etc. It's going to be a chain of throwing and picking up. With the whip, you can drop all of this at once. You can run to the edge of the range of your whip, and you can turn around and whip it, and it will pick up all of them, even if it over-encumbers you. So what we have to do is run back and forth here, toss them out, turn around, make sure we got them all. With that whip, it's much faster. It's a much easier way of moving all your items. So I do highly recommend that if you came over to Aberration from Scorched Earth, bring a whip blueprint so that you have an upgraded whip with better durability. Whatever you got to do, but that definitely helps in moving items that you are unable to carry. The other thing I could do here is I could bring Terry over, but Terry's got a fair amount of weight on her right now as well, and we're going to be using her in a second to grab a bunch of berries, and this is going to just work out. I mean, Terry doesn't have a ton of weight either, and the amount of items that we grabbed would definitely over-encumber her as well. The one thing that you want to be wary of is that your spoil timer doesn't run out on the items, so you do want to kind of move things fairly quickly. I believe that on, I'm not really 100% sure exactly how much the timer leaves for us here, but it's not long. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 3 minutes or less. So you definitely want to make sure that you're not spending too much time before you go and pick up what you've dropped. But obviously when you do pick it up, it does reset the timer here. See, these timers are down to 1 minute, so it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 minutes. We'll go ahead and get the metal in here, put the stone back over here. We've got a little bit of metal in there too, but we're just going to transfer all of that to the forge in a second. Now that we can move here, we'll jump over and get some of that going in there. We're going to get some stone in here to make some more spark powder and or cementing paste. We want to go ahead and be crafting up as many things as possible once we get the explorer notes going. It's really going to be our power way of leveling anytime that we're in these lower levels. And I highly recommend that you stack as many things crafting as possible once you get a couple of explorer notes stacked on top of each other. That's going to be your best way to level your character quickly in the early game. Alright, let's see here. I need some more wood. Well, we've got some from the forges. Let's just go ahead and grab some of that. We'll just put it right back. We're just going to take a few. So we'll get that going. I was going to save, you know, I'll craft it now, but I think I'm going to hold on to those individual spears for a little while that I already crafted, just so as not to waste them, and then we'll grab that spear when we get a chance a little bit later on. Right now we're going to grab a couple more wood for the sickle, and we should have enough metal here. Let's take a look. Alright, run over. We'll get this out of our inventory. Now let's put it here. Put it at the edge of the boxes. Just line that up right. Boom. And we'll get that down. That looks good enough. Alright. Now the spark powder makes the preserving bin run. If you're looking to make jerky, put spark powder and oil in the preserving bin along with your cooked meat or cooked prime meat. So we're just going to transfer over some spark powder here, get that thing turned on. And we'll grab, we've been using Terry kind of as the refrigerator, so we're going to actually transfer this stuff over now and use a refrigerator, or a preserving bin in this case. Once we get a better base location set up, we will go ahead and obviously run some electric. We'll get some air conditioners going so we can breed or hatch different things. We'll get some refrigerators going, which work a little bit better than the preserving bins, and we'll move on from there. I have explored a bit of this map, but you know, I want to kind of build somewhere that we've never built before. So now that we've got all that stuff off of Terry, we're going to go out and get as many narco berries, narco mushrooms as we can. So really what you're looking for here are the narco berries and the acerbic mushrooms, and we're going to stockpile these. We're going to get as many as we possibly can. We're going to run back, we're going to stockpile them all, we're going to spoil up as much meat as we can. We're going to really make this, I mean, insofar as stacking explorer notes, you want to make the best of them. So basically, from the moment we grab the explorer note, we're going to run back to base, and from that moment forward, we want to be crafting the entire time for however long we have the explorer notes for. In this case, we're probably going to stack 2 of them. I can think of 2 that are kind of in a line from the portal on the way back to the base, and we're going to grab those 2 explorer notes. We're going to run back to base. We're going to craft everything up as quickly as possible, and we're going to enjoy the 3 or 4 times XP as we go through that. To go ahead and speed things up a little bit here, I will cut and bring you guys back once we are heading out to get the explorer notes. We'll see you soon. Alright, and we're back at base. We're just going to grab some metal here. We're going to craft up that sickle like we were talking about. Just get some stuff kind of ready. So we want some more fiber. We're going to need a sickle for now. Later on, we can get a bear or a Gigantopithecus or whatever strikes our fancy, and we're going to go ahead. We grab some crystal. We're going to get a couple of water jars going, a couple spyglasses going, and we're gearing up here. We're almost ready to go out and get those explorer notes. Spyglass is important, though. Definitely recommend that as soon as you're able to get one of those, you do so. I never am big on the water skins, but I will get water jars when we're leveling up from level 1. Obviously, the canteen is the way to go, but when you aren't high enough for a canteen or you don't have a fabricator, the way to go is the water jar. When I'm down to the water skin, honestly, I prefer to run to a water source and, dunk my head in it real quick. We're going to get some meat going here. Don't want to be getting hungry as we're running out doing things, and we ran out of the berries that I wanted to eat. They do such crap for your food stat anyway. So let's go ahead and fill up these water jars. We've got our spyglass and our hotbar. We're going to get some cooked meat in our hotbar shortly. We'll go ahead and put another tick into stamina here, and let's see what we've got available for us. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really seeing anything. Well, we are going to need a catapult when we tame a Carcanos later on. Carcanos are amazing on this map. They definitely are one of the better tames that you are going to want to learn, or going to want to own. So let's go ahead and learn the catapult now. For those of you that don't know, to tame a Carcanos, you have to knock it out. You don't knock it out with arrows or tranq darts. You knock it out with a catapult. So we've got that learned. This is what we're looking at right now insofar as our narcotic items. We've got a lot of berries, we've got a lot of mushrooms. We have been spoiling meat up, as you can see. Let's just go ahead and type in narco here and get all these over there. Okay, and then we're going to do the other one with the mushrooms. So we'll go ahead and grab the last of the narco berries out of this and get that back into this first one. We're going to set up the second one with the acerbic mushrooms. Got a decent amount of spoiled meat. We'll transfer some of this over to the other side. We want to go ahead and make sure that we take advantage of every bit that we can. We'll try to actually spoil up a little more before we get the explorer notes, but for now we're going to go ahead and fill this up with the acerbic mushrooms, and looks like we got a few slots left. I feel like we should get some more meat before we go get the explorer notes. Let's see. In the meantime, at the very least, I can feed myself. Let's see. I hope that metal node comes back. If that metal node doesn't come back, we might have to move our spot a little farther back there. All right, let's head over here really quick. See what we can find. See if we can find ourselves something to kill. Get some meat. Spoil that up while we go get the explorer notes. Gotta love the earthquake when it pushes you a little faster through the water. Most of the time, the earthquakes can just be mildly infuriating when you're trying to build or something like that. I don't mind them all that much, frankly, but I do understand why people find them annoying. I actually, in the early game at least, I love getting some of those resources from them. It's not that easy to get red gems unless you're stealing from rats. Like we got, we've gotten some gems so far, but unless you're stealing from the rats, it's really not that easy to get red gems, blue gems in the very, very beginning. And you can actually get a couple from the earthquakes. It's ridiculously rare in the green zone to get red gems from the earthquake, though I have heard people say that they have gotten them. What I do see a lot of is obsidian, crystal, green gems, blue gems, flint, rare mushrooms, rare flowers, wood, stone. But yeah, I mean, it gives you a little bit of resources for your trouble. So let's go ahead and get our stamina up here. I was gonna grab some more meat, but you know, I think maybe we have enough. We've got like, what was that? A little over 300 spoiled meat. Maybe we'll just grab it and see how many levels we get for all of that. We do have the ability to make some chitin and some spark powder as well, you know, if we do craft up all of those. So this is the portal area, and you've got an explorer note right here. So this is one that you can grab. We have already gotten this one, so we're not going to be able to show you the actual Explorer note as it opens, but it's Explorer note number 9 on Aberration, and it is right down here. There is... I thought I just heard something coming, but anyway, we're going to grab that, run up the ramp here, and we're going to grab another note at the chute that I showed you guys in the first episode, and that will give us 2 stacked Explorer notes, and we'll just run as fast as we can back to base and get that crafting going. That should give us quite a few levels, so I do highly recommend this as a way to level in the beginning until you can get you know, some solid tames, which you actually need the levels to get anyway. So we're going to try to see if we can get up to a long neck rifle. I doubt we're going to be able to get all the way up to trank darts. I think it's... I can't remember off the top of my head where trank darts are, but it's fairly high up there. It's in the higher mid levels. I think it's like right around the 60-ish point. And obviously that's probably not going to hit level 60, 61, 62 right now. We're going to slow down, get a little bit of stamina back here. As you can see, we now have 1130 seconds of XP boost, and we're going to utilize that to the best of our ability. So we want to save our stam there so that we don't run out of stam in the water and end up drowning and wasting our experience boost. So let's just slow down a little bit again right here before the end of the bridge, or the chute here, and then we're going to jump off the right side, get a little speed boost, run, and jump. Oh no. Oh, that was really close. I was afraid I might die there. If we had missed the water, that would have been quite painful, and that would have been a complete waste of those 2 Explorer notes. Anyway, let's get back over to base here. We're going to craft up as much as we possibly can, and we're going to see how many levels it gives us. Boom. Let's get that going. And then let's get this one going. And you want to stay close enough that you can still maintain the XP. So this one's about to spoil. We're going to split this part, get some more spoiled meat going. Then you can actually move. Once you have a stack, by the way, what you move into that stack is you're making that spoil timer affect what you're moving. So you saw that the meat that was in the fire had more spoil time left than the stack that we moved it into in our inventory. But once it moved over there, it shared the same spoil timer. So that gives us the ability to lower the spoil timer of anything that we want, as long as we have something lower already in our inventory. So, for instance, if I had 3 stacks of 40 in my inventory, and the first one was about to spoil, and the second 2 were not, I could actually move those second 2. I can split apart that first stack. Then I can move those second 2 stacks to one of the pieces that I just split off from. And so long as the new stack doesn't... If it's a full stack, you have to break one off of it to move it to the other one, obviously, because if you just hit on a 40 stack and then a 1 stack, it's just going to switch the 2 in your inventory. But if you take that one off, you can move it in there, and then boom, you've got a lowered spoil timer that then you can split apart as well, and then you can do it again and split those apart as well. And that just gives you more and more spoiled meat, so you can do things like this. Let's see what else we can craft here. We'll grab this metal, grab the charcoal, put the metal in the smithy, and then we're going to grab the charcoal from here as well, and the metal. We will see what we have total here. Let's put the charcoal in here. Let's get some gunpowder going. We've got plenty of spark powder already. We should be able to craft all of this into gunpowder once those narcotic are done. Again, we want to utilize that entire amount of XP boost that we have. So if it looks like, you know, we have, what, 70 left? Yeah, 70 now left of the narcotic on this side. Oh, we can boost that up. Let's do that. All right. Even so, it's going to be less than this other one, right? Yeah. So we have the gunpowder will start going once the narcotic is done crafting in that farther back mortar and pestle, and we'll get it going in the first one. As you can see, we've already got a couple levels. I will bring you guys back after we're done crafting here, and we'll see how many levels we got. Alright, and we're back. So we crafted up the entire time, and a little bit afterwards, actually. Looks like we got 21 levels. So let's run through, go ahead and pump up our health some, pump up our stamina some, get a little more weight going now that we got our stamina up to 200. Maybe pump a little bit more movement speed, and let's see what we've got here. Alright, so we'll get the ghillie. Definitely are going to end up using some ghillie while we're in the green zone. So we'll learn all of that. I want the climbing pick, but I'm reluctant to get it right now and spend points on it. Let's get the long neck rifle. Because even though we get blueprints for that, we probably won't be on the surface to get some really good blueprints for a little while. The climbing pick, though, we can pick up climbing picks themselves from some of the drops down here. And we can get likely apprentice ones in the blue zone. We'll get some shotgun ammo. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, we're gonna need that gas collector, so actually we should put one of those down on this gas fan that we keep running by. Let's see, we don't need any building stuff for now. I'll probably get a dire bear in a little bit, but we don't need that saddle just yet. Definitely want the Ravager saddle. Actually, given that we just got the Ravager saddle, we will likely be doing that in the very next episode. Let's get the fabricator, the generator, and some wires. Get the grill. Definitely. Going to be wanting to cook up some food. A little faster than we've been able to so far. We'll get cryopods. We definitely need those. Look, we're already at cryopods. This is why it's so important to do stuff like get explorer notes and do a bunch of crafting, or get explorer notes and do a bunch of killing, get explorer notes and do a bunch of anything. It's important to get those levels early on. But as I was saying about the climbing pick, it's likely that we could get some crafted primitive or apprentice ones down here. So I don't know. We may end up learning it anyway, but I'd like to wait until we get some, preferably some upgraded ones, upgraded blueprints. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of highlighting here these saddles that you don't need on Aberration. So make sure that when you are on Aberration, you're only learning the saddles for things that you actually have on the map. For instance, beer barrel, unless you're on PvP and you're using the beer specifically for PvP, there's no Calicotheriums here, so you don't need to learn that to tame them. And unless you're doing that PvP, beer really serves no purpose. So definitely skip that one. We will get some of these building things soon. We'll get the gateway now. Maybe get the triangle. No. I guess we'll get that. Let's see. I want to get that fence foundation. Let's go ahead and get the slopes and the fence foundation and stone pillar and we used up all that we can. We'll have to get the fence foundation the next time around so that we can build some blockages. Not super keen on building traps for all this stuff just yet. There's certain things that we will want to trap for. Spino, for instance. It does a lot of running, especially once it's been damaged to a certain amount of its health and or torpored. The thing is fast and just runs away from you and is really a kind of a pain in the butt. But things like Ravagers, most of the Ravagers I've gotten in Aberration, I've just bolaed. Raptors, obviously, you just bola. Iguanodons. Trying to think of what else we need to build a trap for. We definitely need to build a trap for a Carcanos. So we will do that at some point. But for the most part, the things on Aberration, you really just don't need that many traps for. We'll probably build a Spino trap. We'll probably build a Carcanos trap. And maybe trap for a bear if we need to. Bears do a lot of damage. If you can get above the bear, you're in a good spot. And I definitely think that it's not too hard to do a bear without a trap. But bears do a good deal of damage, and they can have a tendency to run towards a bunch of stuff that's going to try to kill it. Now, usually the bears will kill them, but bears don't have a large health pool. So although they dish out quite a bit of damage, wild bears, you have the potential that you could even kill it if you just use trank arrows versus trank darts. So given that potential that you could even kill it, you really don't want to take the risk of something else damaging it as it's running away from you or something like that. But now that we got the Ravager saddle, we probably are just going to use the next episode to round up some mutton and cook it up. If you didn't know, cooked lamb chop is the kibble sort of thing for Ravagers. They like it better than any of the raw meats, and it works really well on them. So lamb chop is the way to go. So next episode, we are likely going to grab ourselves a Ravager. I think we will run into the Glowtail Cave to get it. I have had extremely good luck, extremely good luck in the Glowtail Cave with higher level creatures. As a matter of fact, almost every time I go into the Glowtail Cave, I see a higher level creature. So we'll grab some stone double door frames and the double doors, and let's see, let's get that fence foundation, and yeah, that's what we'll do next episode. We're definitely going to get our first Ravager the next episode. It depends on how deep we have to go into the Glowtail Cave. We're not really ready for a big foray into there, but we can go into the entrance and see what we can see. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. We're going to swim our way across, and next episode we will likely be getting us some mutton so that we can go and make lamb chops and get ourselves a Ravager. Thanks for joining me. If you found yourself enjoying the video, go ahead and push that like button. If you want to be notified when I put out new videos, hit the subscribe button and click on that notification bell. And the best thing that you could do for me, if you really do enjoy the videos, is share them with a friend. I'll see you guys in the next one.